Some die-hard tennis fans know the best matches or greatest tennis rallies from heart, but it's not every day you see these matches and rallies broken down. That is why today we are diving into the top 10 greatest tennis rallies of all time. But before we get into it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Number 10. Monica Seles vs. Steffi Graf, French Open Finals, 1992. Monica Seles' victory over Steffi Graf in the 1985 French Open Finals barely edged out Margaret Court's 14-12, 11-9 victory over Billie Jean King in the 1970 Wimbledon Final for the 10th spot on our list. The 18-year-old Seles was ranked number 1 in the world and had already won 5 of the 9 Grand Slam titles that she would eventually capture. Graf was 22 and ranked number 2, having won 10 of the 22 major titles that she would ultimately claim, causing her to be the rated top women's player in history by the Tennis Channel. In the 1992 French Open, Graf fought off 5 match points against her and a taut 90-minute third set. She saved 4 of those match points while serving at 3-5 and rallied to take leads of 6-5 and 7-6, but Seles ultimately prevailed. Number 9. Henry Cochet vs. Bill Tilden, Wimbledon Semifinals, 1927. At age 34, Bill Tilden seemed to be cruising to his 3rd Wimbledon title, having won the event only 2 previous times that he played in it. Tilden was breezing past semifinal opponent Henry Cochet, a 25-year-old Frenchman, for what appeared to be another lopsided victory. Suddenly, everything changed as Cochet decided to go for winners on virtually every shot. Number 8. Novak Djokovic vs. Rafael Nadal, Australian Open Finals, 2012. The emotion and energy spent in Novak Djokovic's victory over Rafael Nadal in the 2012 Australian Finals were evident throughout. The match lasted 5 hours and 53 minutes, longer by almost an hour than the previous longest Grand Slam finals in history, according to The Guardian. The match, which began Sunday evening, did not end until 1:37 a.m. Monday Melbourne time. It was the 3rd straight Grand Slam final matching Djokovic and Nadal, who were the top 2 players in the world at the time. Nadal, who had gone to his knees in celebration after winning the 4th set tiebreaker, took a 4-2 lead in the final set. Djokovic rallied to tie it at 4-4, but was flat on his back, apparently exhausted after losing a 32-shot rally in the 9th game. Djokovic persevered to take a 6-5 lead, then saved a break point against him in the 12th game, before finally holding serve to close it out. Number 7. Pancho Gonzales vs. Charlie Pasarell, Wimbledon, first round, 1969. Pancho Gonzales was 41 years old, and it had been 21 years since he won his first Grand Slam singles title at the 1948 U.S. Championship. But despite losing the first 2 sets and having 7 match points against him in the 5th set, Gonzales beat the up-and-coming 25-year-old Charlie Pasarell in a first-round marathon at the 1969 Wimbledon. At the time, it was the longest match in Wimbledon history. Gonzales virtually gave away the 2nd set because he was angered that the match was not suspended after 1 set because of darkness. Gonzales' behavior brought boos from the crowd, but the excitement increased the next day when the aging Gonzales twice rebounded from triple match points against him, according to a report in The Guardian. At both 4-5 and 5-6 in the final set, Gonzales dug himself into 0-40 holds, only to serve his way out of both situations. Pasarell's final match point came at 7-8 when Pasarell hit a lob out. Gonzales summoned the strength to win the final 11 points of the 5-hour 12-minute match and claim the win. Number 6. Chris Evert vs. Martina Navratilova, French Open Finals, 1985. The 1985 French Open Finals was the 65th and best of the 80s matches. Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova would play against each other. Navratilova held a 33-31 lead against Evert at the time and had won 15 of their previous 16 meetings, including a 6-3, 6-1 victory in the 1984 French Open Finals. But Evert won this one to reclaim the world number 1 ranking at age 30. Navratilova rallied from 2-4, 0-40 in the 2nd to force a 3rd. In the deciding set, Evert let a 5-3 lead slip away. Navratilova tied at 5-5, and with momentum on her side, had a 0-40 lead on Evert's serve in the 11th game. Evert came back to hold serve, then broke Navratilova's serve in the 12th game to close it out. Number 5. Ken Rosewall vs. Rod Laver, WCT Finals, Dallas, 1972. Rod Laver wrote in his memoir, The 1972 WCT Finals According to World Tennis, "I think if one match can be said to have made tennis in the United States, this was it. Rosewall led a 4-2 lead in the 5th set slip away, and Laver held a 5-4 lead in the final set tiebreaker with 2 serves upcoming. But Rosewall had 2 unbelievable service returns with his legendary backhand to take a 6-5 lead, and Laver erred on a service return to end the match. Rosewall won and pocketed $50,000. Number 4. Don Budge vs. Gottfried von Krom. Davis Cup 1937. The 1937 Davis Cup match between Don Budge and Gottfried von Krom had all of the ingredients of epic tennis. Budge was the #1 player in the world at the time and had just beaten von Krom easily in the finals at Wimbledon. And now they were facing each other again at the All England Club in the 5th and deciding match of the Davis Cup Challenge round. Budge rallied to go ahead in the 5th set, but von Krom saved 5 match points before Budge won it on his 6th match point with an amazing passing shot. Number 3. Suzanne Lenglen vs. Helen Wills. Cannes, France, Finals 1926. Suzanne Lenglen and Helen Wills, the 2 dominant players of the era, met on the court only once. Lenglen never lost a completed Grand Slam tournament match on the court. She won 6 Wimbledon titles and 8 Grand Slam events from 1919 to 1926, and did not lose more than 4 games in any of her last 5 Wimbledon finals. Wills was equally dominant, winning 19 Grand Slam title events between 1923 and 1938. Lenglen and Wills finally met in a small tournament at the Carlton Club in Cannes, France. The match produced a circus atmosphere of spectators, some sitting in trees and on rooftops, were often loud. Lenglen had a match point at 6-5 when a deep ball hit by Wills was called out by the crowd, but not by a linesman. The players, assuming the crowd's call was the official one, shook hands and had photos taken. When they were informed the ball officially had been ruled in, they went back on the court and Wills won the game to tie it at 6-6. Nonetheless, Lenglen won the next 2 games to complete a 6-3, 8-6 victory. Number 2. Bjorn Borg vs. John McEnroe, Wimbledon Finals 1980. The 22-minute, 34-point 4-set tiebreaker in the 1980 Wimbledon Finals between John McEnroe and Bjorn Borg trumps all challengers in terms of drama. The match hit a new level in the seemingly endless tiebreaker. McEnroe, who had survived a double match point against him earlier in the 4th set, fought off 5 more match points in the tiebreaker. Borg, meanwhile, survived 6 set points against him in the tiebreaker, which included 5 side changes. Finally, on McEnroe's 7th set point, Borg netted a volley, ending a tiebreaker that had lasted only 5 minutes less than the entire first set. The drama of the 18-16 4-set tiebreaker in McEnroe-Borg was like a riveting, unscripted theatrical experience. Borg's resilience in winning the 5th set 8-6 added to the match's lore. It was the 5th consecutive Wimbledon title for Borg, who had turned just 24 a month earlier. It was also his last Wimbledon title. Number 1. Rafael Nadal vs. Roger Federer, Wimbledon Finals 2008. Roger Federer's 5-set victory over Rafael Nadal in the 2007 Wimbledon Finals might be on this list were it not for their rematch in the 2008 Finals. Events coalesced on July 6, 2008 to create in many minds the greatest match ever played anywhere. Nadal and Federer had already developed an appealing rivalry, and Federer had dominated Wimbledon, having won the previous 5 Wimbledon titles in a row. His 5-set victory over Nadal in the 2007 final heightened the anticipation for their 2008 meeting. They responded with 4 hours and 48 minutes of classic tennis, the longest final in Wimbledon history. According to the splendor of Nadal's victory was that it ended at 9:16 p.m. in a shrouded darkness. Federer fought off 2 match points against him in the 4th set, and the match was twice interrupted by rain. Federer finished the match with 89 winners, and he still lost. But we want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments what you think is the greatest tennis match or rally in the sport's history. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. This has been our breakdown of the top 10 greatest tennis rallies of all time.